All right.
Hey, it's 1:00. It's Saturday. You are here with us. I'm here with my partners and hosts in SilentAce 221 and Cerv. I am their partner and host of Mr. Solutions, and this is
Comic Cinema Clash.
This is Comic Cinema Clash.
Get it!
And hey, we're starting a new segment this week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But how you gentlemen doing? It's been a week.
Doing great. A lot of awesome things happened over the last week. So, just in media.
Oh man,
got
right?
me excited,
dude. Love the new Cerv art logo on the back.
Yeah, it looks good.
I appreciate it. It took me like all but 2 minutes to put together, so I'm not gonna take too much.
The color scheme is still freshy fresh. I like it.
Right
on. Glad to have you back, SilentAce, with good audio. Sounded great this week.
Apologize about that, fellas. I did not mean for that to sound all rough because I went back to the stream and heard it. I was like, oh, that shit hurt my ears. No, thank you.
No, you was pretty rough last week, but welcome back to the stream with excellent sound.
Thank you, sir.
So we're starting a new segment this week, like I said. For those of you who do watch the show, we do a segment called Overrated. And so far, we've done Overrated. Batman was number 1, and then we did Miss Fantastic like a couple weeks ago. But we're going to start Underrated this week, and we're going to talk about Black Panther. But before we get into how underrated Black Panther actually is, like you said, there was like a whole bunch of cool stuff that happened this week. I'm gonna start off with my favorite thing that happened this week. Freaking Hit Monkey. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time this week and give it a check out.
Hit Monkey was freaking fantastic.
You're the only person I've heard talk about it though. Like, for some reason, nobody else is talking about this show.
Me and Steven watched it in like the span of hours. Like,
how many episodes is it?
I think it's like 9 episodes, 10 episodes maybe. Okay. They're about 45 minutes a piece. It's a real easy watch. Jason Sudeikis literally kills this role. Like,
is that who's playing the monkey?
No, Jason Sudeikis is playing the ghost that's attached to the monkey.
That's pretty fucking cool.
So the premise of the show should not even work. Here's the premise of the show, right? So there's this assassin, and he's paid to take out this Japanese politician, right? So he goes to Japan and he kills this dude, right? Whatever. He gets betrayed, and he gets shot, and he winds up healing with a bunch of Japanese macaques, right? The monkeys, the white monkeys that hang out in the warm pool, right?
Yeah.
So they nurse him back to health. There's this one monkey who's like, yo, kick this dude out of our tribe
Right.
He is evil, and he's going to bring more evil men with him. And the Elder Monkey's like, dude, you need to chill out. We're, helping this dude out or whatever, right? So, of course, what the monkey says comes true. More evil men come. Nicole, can you close my door, please? Thank you. More evil men come. They shoot up the whole village of monkeys. They kill the hitman. He dies. The only survivor is the skeptic monkey, who winds up killing all the assassins somehow with automatic weapons. Like, honestly, there's something that happens in there that kind of puts him on that path, but I don't want to ruin that.
Yeah.
The hitman's ghost is somehow attached to the monkey, and he's like, you got to take revenge for us, for your tribe and my death. And that's Hit Monkey.
Nice.
And I'm kind of surprised he got a show, because that is a Marvel character like almost nobody knows about.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I had no. It is like Marvel's Hit Monkey. I'm like, Marvel has a Hit Monkey. What is a Hit Monkey like?
Hit Monkey pops up in like that Merc world of Marvel. Your Daredevil, well, not even Daredevil, more your Deadpools. That's who I was looking for.
Yeah.
Your Bishop might run into him here and there. Any bounty hunters in the MCU. That's usually where Hit Monkey lives in comics.
I tell you what I loved about Hit Monkey, how they definitively place him in the MCU. Right?
Nice.
Is he actually?
Well, not MCU,
story?
but not MCU, but definitely place him in the Marvel universe. Let you know this is definitely a Marvel IP. Like, one of the characters reading the Punisher comic book, Silver Samurai pops up a couple of times in the show. Like real specific Marvel IP pop up in the show. Let you know this is definitely a Marvel property. Don't mistake it for anything else.
Right on.
Did they put Deadpool in it at all?
No.
Okay.
No. And honestly, the story is super compelling.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna have to sit down and actually check it out this week.
Like, the Hitman's backstory was really one of the most well thought out, realistic backstories I've witnessed in a while, whatever. Like, real legitimate reasons to make a character turn the way they turn.
Nice.
I like that.
Foundation season finale was yesterday. Oh my god, I know that has nothing to do with comic books. I totally understand that. But wow, Foundation.
That one's on what? Apple TV, right?
Yeah, that's on Apple TV Plus. I cannot stress enough how good Foundation is.
Yeah, one of these days, I'm sure I'll get to it.
It should not really be a one of these days type of an event. It really should be like, I watched that shit yesterday. Like, it is so good. So good. Like, wow. But anyway.
Same with that Arcane. The last 3 episodes of that dropped today, and that has been a fucking roller coaster.
I started watching it yesterday.
Tell me it's not good.
You know what? I haven't got past first episode yet because I got distracted by something else, like real life stuff. It is so far for me okay. I'm
enjoying the hell out of that,
but I haven't gotten to the end of the first episode, and a lot of times it takes the hook of the in the first episode to be like, damn right, that shit is good, right? So
yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it starts slow at the first episode. Get past the first 3, and I bet you'll want to watch the rest.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So for people who watch this show and don't know, especially in anime, but for all series, there's a 3-episode rule, right? You got to give the story 3 episodes before you make a decision on if you like it or not. Depending on the style of storytelling, it will take those 3 episodes to get to whatever action or content or concept that is going to hook you into the show, right? So you can't abandon something before 3 episodes because you don't know if it's good or not. Any show that you're watching on television, any anime you're watching, any cartoon you're watching, it really doesn't matter. You got to give the writer the flexibility to tell the roots of the story within the first 3 episodes. So
sense.
Now, if it sucks for you after the first 3 episodes, abandon it. It sucks.
Abandon ship, jump overboard to get off of it.
Right. So I don't really have a good opinion about Arcane yet.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think about it, though.
Ace,
Yeah, I'll watch it today.
what you got?
I watched. I actually went last night to go see Internals.
Ooh,
Oh,
I still haven't seen it yet. I might take myself because I got a car now.
Right, yeah. No, it was a good movie. I really don't want to say too much about it because I know you haven't seen it, Steven. With and the whole situation of this movie. Really, I had a couple of confusing parts about it, just mainly because I didn't know the Internals too well. I know specific characters of the Internals, but not the whole.
No one really knows the Eternals.
So yeah, so it's like, huh? Who? What? Why? Where? When? What? Okay, cool. But I think the all around like graphics and the scenes were pretty cool. It was interesting. I liked. It had his comedic moments in there for sure. That was pretty funny.
who was your favorite one?
What's his face? Of course, the Indian dude. He was my comedic relief throughout the whole damn movie. He's funny. I wish they would have gave a more of a background with him, or more. I guess more scenes with him. But I would say him. Icarus is pretty intense in that movie too. So it was like, okay. So I went back and started like looking up the Internals and trying to get a little background story of the Internals and then the expectations of the Celestials and all that stuff. And oh yeah, the one scene in that movie was pretty cool with one of the Celestials. I don't want to give too much, but yeah.
So that's the cool thing about. I think that's kind of why they made this movie is because even a lot of diehard comic book fans have like they don't really know much about the Eternals. The comics have even still really barely gone over their origins. Even with new Eternal comics coming out, you're starting to find out like that we really don't know much about them, period. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I think that they were kind of counting on that in the movie, that, nobody's really going to do research. We're kind of going into this fresh, 'cause even compared to the comics.
And the history that's available is confusing, to say the least.
It really is. They didn't do a good job writing them. There's a big piece of me that, comic-wise, wish that they would just stop with the Eternals like altogether.
Well, the problem with the Eternals ultimately is the origin point from which they come from, right?
Yeah.
Jack Kirby left DC, under bad circumstances when he had just created the New Gods. He wanted to be still working on the New Gods and made the Eternals and its steed. And it wasn't the New Gods storyline. You know what I'm saying? And Marvel really never found a way to enfold it really into the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah.
Because it was okay. So it was kind of made like that. It was kind of made like Chris Claremont's X-Men. So for all of you who don't know, when Uncanny X-Men came back and Chris Claremont had taken over, the success of it was so good that the X-Men largely wound up being like a standalone thing in the Marvel comics for like a long time. Like Chris Claremont wouldn't allow the X-Men characters to cross over into other storylines like the Avengers and stuff because he was writing such tight continuity and didn't want the characters to be messed up in the muck and mire that was the rest of the Marvel comic universe at the time, where they weren't writing tight continuity. They were still writing, villain of the month flavor, stories, right?
Yeah.
And when Jack Kirby came on board to do Eternals, it felt a lot like that same thing with the X-Men. Like, they're off in this bubble, they do their own thing, and they don't really, interact with the rest of the Marvel universe or the Marvel, comic universe. Yeah. And that's what it's really been like for decades now with them. Like, what do you do with them when they've never really been a part of anything that's going on?
Right. And I think pretty much with this movie, I feel and I could possibly be incorrect on this statement, but I think that this is a big segue to a lot that's already going on within the news phase right now. I think a lot of this has to be a good setup and introduction for a lot of things. So you're gonna expect a lot of like, I feel, out of this world type situations, galaxy type situations, just formatting different back and forth to different universes or whatever the case may be. And I think my opinion on it is more like they introduced the Celestials for a purpose and a reason, right? And I think that's going to tell in time throughout the other movies as well. But in what direction, I don't know. I think it's a good opening point for like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and movies like that and everything that's in the Disney Plus is coming up here soon. That's going to have some form or another of a tie-in. I feel. To what this movie is. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see what kind of other tricks up their sleeve they have with Marvel and all this new. It's like I said, it's completely different from the original 20 some odd movies prior to this Eternals movie, right? Like you're used to certain things. They introduce that Endgame, the whole travel back in time, the situation like that, and then you got WandaVision, all that shows a little bit of a different reality of universes or whatever. And then you got Loki, which I like how it's sort of built it up. I just think the storyline was good in Eternals. The delivery wasn't very as strong as I thought it should have been. All in all, like I said, I even placed it on Facebook. I was like, "Yo, 7 out of 10." I mean, that's pretty much what I'm giving it at this point. 7 out of 10.
Very fair.
So maybe I'll take myself to see it this weekend since I'm the only one in the group that hasn't seen it yet. I could really wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. I ain't gonna lie, like it'll be there next month.
I mean, I was gonna say you've got like a month.
But I feel like I should go watch it.
I feel like you should see it eventually, but unless we're trying to do like an episode next week or something like that on it, then
I would wait.
You might as well just wait.
Because next week we're doing our favorite things with episode 20.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right. We're releasing some new stuff next week. And we're doing episode 20, our favorite things. Actually, I got a format I want to go over that with you guys later. But I think I want to do that a specific way.
All right, nice. Yeah.
But let's see where we at. It's 1:16. We know what? Let's start on this discussion about BP. I'm not talking about the gas station.
Right, prices are high.
I'm talking about my man Black Panther.
There it is.
Before we get into this, I know a lot of you saying Black Panther's not underrated. Right now, he's my favorite person in the MCU.
Right. Yeah, right. No, he's definitely. That might be
true. That might be true. Black Panther might be your favorite person in the MCU, right?
I was almost nervous about suggesting him for an underrated because if you are a comic book fan and you've read a lot of Black Panther, you know that like Marvel does not underrate him at all. I think this underrated thing is more so for general audiences who, maybe just don't know much about him, right?
Yes. This is about people who have been introduced to Black Panther through the lens of, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, maybe the animations, that type of stuff. Black Panther, let's just start with the level of wealth. Noted multiple times as the richest character in any comic book universe.
We're talking trillions of dollars.
Yeah. Right. I got my Wikipedia up right now with it. I'm not going to lie to you. I got my Wikipedia up right now looking at something. Black Panther's paid.
I think you know what? You know who's the only comic book character is more paid than Black Panther? You know who's the actual richest comic book character?
Oh, it is Black Panther, and I'm gonna tell you why. but go on.
Honestly, it's Richie Rich.
Yeah.
Honestly, Richie Rich is the most rich comic book character, hands down. Period. Literally everything in his house is made of fucking gold.
I totally spaced that guy. I totally spaced that one.
Is making trillions off of a country, though.
Yo. Look,
and more than that,
Richie
because
Rich
if
seems
you
to have an infinite amount of money that comes
oh, of
from
course he does.
literally nowhere.
What did Richie Rich's parents do? How did they get all this?
They're the
Look,
cartel.
it is never explained how his
Never.
family has generated or amassed the amount of wealth that they have where there's Richie Rich helicopters like the Peter Copter. Right?
Yeah,
And everything in their house is made of solid effing gold.
man,
Yeah.
talk
It's
about a
like,
character I forgot existed. Yeah, you
yeah,
pulling it out of
but
the
outside of Richie Rich, Black Panther is the filthiest, richest character,
Yep.
period. Like, he just got
Yep.
money on money. Like, literally, his land sits on a mountain of what he can convert into money at any time.
You want to know why he's more rich than Richie Rich? Because if you've been keeping up on Black Panther comics, like I do, my guy owns a whole galaxy.
Oh, did he owns
The
a galaxy
kingdom of
now?
Wakanda, yeah, the kingdom of Wakanda is a galaxy-spanning kingdom now.
Yep.
We'll talk about that in this episode.
That's why he's underrated.
Yeah.
Then he's got the highest levels of technology on the planet at his disposal,
Yeah.
at his fingertips. He's got superpowers through mythical means. So he's got magic powers. He's got tech powers, physical enhancements. Then, the overall use of the ever helpful vibranium that seems to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah. Just about. Right? Yeah.
Like, got a whole army, or I guess a whole galaxy army of people to send on your ass. He's fought cosmic entities.
Yeah.
With the power of the Panther Goddess. Like, my dude is out here doing big things in a little space.
Yep.
And, more than that, it's easy to say, comic fans love to go back to the who wins in a fight. Black Panther's never really made it about a fight. He's always outthinking you, and that's kind of what makes him special. He's a strategic powerhouse, right?
Yes.
All these people talk about Batman prep time, and if you give Batman the time of day to do this and this.
Hey.
If you give Black Panther a nanosecond to figure out how to solve a problem, there's a good chance he's going to get it solved.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's right. He's a super genius as well.
Yep.
Yeah, let's not forget that. But everybody in Marvel's a super genius, right? So that's a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you have powers in Marvel, it's probably because you're a genius.
Yeah.
In some form or another. Yeah, definitely. I was reading that
I'm doing the show, Mama.
the Black Panther went ahead and was the king of hell. Is that a fact? Is that a thing? Like,
yeah, he was the king of hell for a short time.
So yes and no. So the title of Black Panther, because of something that one of his ancestors did, makes him the king of the dead on Earth.
Oh, okay.
So there's a spot under Wakanda called the Necropolis that is a part of the Kingdom of Wakanda, and only the Black Panther is supposedly allowed to be down there, and from that seat, he can literally command the dead.
Right. Oh, okay.
Which goes into one of the powers that they don't really touch on too much in the movies. One of the things that makes him so good is that he does not just have the dead at his disposal, but he has like in the movie they showed him talking to his father in this like ancestral.
Right, he's got the ancestor spirits that back him up as well.
So all of that is in real time kind of council of Black Panthers that just kind of are giving him all of their battle experience, knowledge experience, and this makes him so that, like, for example, the very first Black Panther that ever existed back in caveman times,
the BC era, right?
Yeah, yep. Teamed up with Odin, was able to wield Mjolnir because he's worthy, and now Thor cannot throw Mjolnir at Black Panther because it respects him too much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, to add to one more thing that he's just that good at, Thor can't even use his own powers against Black Panther, right? And it's because of that collective knowledge and experience that he has
Hmm.
from his ancestors. While he may not be worthy to wield it, the sentient storm inside of Mjolnir will not touch him.
Oh, nice.
Look, he is so OP.
Yeah.
Look, like, all right. I know I keep going back to this, but really is one of my favorite storylines. Uh,
Ultimate,
yeah,
yeah.
Ultimates. Oh my God, Black Panther was so clutch in Ultimates. Like, and you're looking at like the lineup, right? And you're like, it's Blue Marvel, right? It's Photon, it's Captain Marvel. You're like looking at these people, and you're like, how did Black Panther get into this lineup of like essentially like planet busting characters? Like,
Right.
and then you get into this storyline, and then he's like, so I'm just gonna tap into the power of the Panther Goddess, and I'm gonna fight, like was it the Living Tribunal? Did he fight? Was it the
Hmm.
Living Tribunal before? Like, come on, dude.
Galactus.
Galactus. It was
Yeah.
Galactus
Yeah.
before. Yeah, okay. I wanted to say Galactus, but I felt like
You
that's
know what?
wrong.
It was because he didn't even want to fight it. It was he created the Ultimates to solve problems before they became problems, which
Yeah.
is just the coolest fucking thing ever. But he was like, we're gonna solve one of the universe's biggest problems, and that's Galactus. We want to make him into, we want to like pretty much satisfy his hunger so that he's not going around doing what nature demands
Devouring
him
planets.
doing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and the coolest thing about it is that they succeeded in the comic. Like they actually made him not into the Devourer, the Lifebringer, which he stayed like that for a couple of years. And I kind of wish that they would have just kept him like that. To be
Yeah, I
honest,
kind of wish they would have too. He was honestly, Galactus had become in Ultimates. Galactus had become such a uh reachable character, I guess is what I want
Mhm.
to say. Like, you know, like you really was able to get into the psychology and kind of a little bit of where he was vulnerable, and like you really got to understand Galactus and Ultimates. Like, Ultimates is really good. Go read Ultimates. Like that is really fucking good.
it's
Just
one of the
saying.
better comics that Marvel has made in a while, and I'm sad that like not a lot of people know about it because like but they really gave you some of the just truest versions of these characters because Black Panther wasn't just some leader of the team. He constantly came into blow with his teammates about certain decisions and how they should be met, and sometimes he wasn't always in the right, despite the fact that he thought he was right. And I think
Right,
that
right,
they
right.
captured these moments from America Chavez being recruited to the team because of what she can do.
Mm-hmm.
They really got to explore the outer reaches of the Marvel comic universe in ways that the Fantastic Four never did. Even it was just a really
Off
really cool
topic.
piece.
Didn't you love that little romance between Photon and Blue Marvel in Ultimates?
It just needs to be a permanent thing.
Yeah, like I just really, can I just have them have their own book?
Yeah, I would love that.
I would freaking love that, dude.
Look, that's why I'm look. The one of the biggest things I'm hoping for in the MCU, because now we have Photon or Spectrum or whatever
Right,
they
right.
decide to have her go by. Um, if the movie is going to be called The Marvels, I want Blue Marvel to be in it
Hey,
so that
Yes.
that
D,
relationship can start. If I see that on screen, I'm gonna lose
man,
my shit.
I'm
Theater.
gonna lose my whole entire shit. But I don't know. So you said you got your wiki pulled up over there, Ace.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What
sir.
what interesting things did you find in the wiki?
So it shows me, and when I found, hold on, um, the whole it shows it basically gives a lot of references in generally speaking, but just the other Black Panthers, like just the wide vast, like Black Panther, like 1,000 BC, and Bishenga, Nahada, Chanda, Asuri, and then obviously T'Chaka and all them, but just how many they have in here. and like in detail of each description of each character. Like it just shows how the length of time the Black Panther has been around. That's what's pretty cool about this whole story thing with Black Panther in general, not just like with T'Challa, just the whole background story. Another interesting fact that I didn't know, that initially they said that they were going to go ahead and call it the Black Leopard initially.
I did know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. It said there was basically yeah, because they were saying that it was at the time back in the '60s or whatever, due to the Black Panther movement, right? And they sort of went off of that situation due to the Black Panther Party, but they didn't want to go in route of like 1966 and all that. So, but initially having the segue to that was where I didn't know he was even part. I didn't know he was really like fought out with the Fantastic Four. I had no idea on that.
Oh yeah, that's what he started with, was fighting the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And Avengers.
And I had no clue with that. But there's some interesting stuff in here for sure. We already know Storm and him were hooked up or whatever. We knew that.
And it's sort of, and can we talk about Black Panther without bringing up Storm? Like,
yeah,
their relationship is so complex.
We can't talk about T'Challa without bringing up Storm. And I think okay, before we do that, I want to bring up an important thing. I think it's going to be important, especially going forward in the MCU specifically.
Yeah.
What Ace was saying is how long Black Panther has existed. And obviously, there hasn't all been T'Challa because Black Panther is a title.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's important for you guys to understand coming up with, especially with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, and the announcement that they will not be recasting Chadwick Boseman's character as T'Challa, that the Black Panther is a title, and Shuri has been the Black Panther. So Marvel's decision to move forward making Shuri the Black Panther, even though, did you guys hear that she's being recasted?
Wait, what?
Yeah, and honestly, some of that might be a little bit of her own fault.
It is. She's got some anti-vaccination stances that she's on. They are accusing her impacting the health of the crew, and they're going to recast her for the movie.
And there's also some kind of travel things going on with that, because she went out to London to go visit like family, and coming back to Atlanta, they're like, nah, if you are coming back in, traveling from another country, you have to be vaccinated. So now they're at this weird impasse of, oh, she don't want to get vaccinated, but we got to finish the filming in Atlanta, and making it kind of difficult, so you might just get recast.
But didn't she also? They had something that happened to her, right? Like that, her the person who plays Siri, Letitia, whatever. Like, didn't she get hurt too, or has some injuries?
She got injured, and she flew out to, I guess, London to be with her family. But now she can't come back because she ain't got her shot.
So, okay. But that's just some side news for that. But the point is that Black Panther is a title. Shuri being Black Panther, it should be totally acceptable for anybody watching the movies. Because if they know anything about the comics, they know that Shuri has been the Black Panther. Even recently, when T'Challa was lost in space in his Lost in Space adventure, which is really was lost in space for quite some time. And she was fighting being the Black Panther, even after her appointment of it. And that's because she's got super high tech powers, like, she's got armor class shit up there with Doom and Iron Man. And then she also has a whole council of ancestor spirits that just talk to her all day and drive her crazy. Like, outside of the Black Panther spirits, they're just like the first council of Wakanda or whatever, that just
so she's pretty much almost like a storytelling god at this point in the comics, and not in the sense of like that sounds not as powerful as what it is. She's connected to like all of the spirits of Wakanda to be like this kind of demigod to them. So her powers go from transforming her body into different things to, even wielding the powers of the Black Panther God, itself,
Yeah,
and communing with him. So she's on a whole different level right
yeah,
now.
sure is pretty OP. And you can just add that to the underratedness of Black Panther, right?
Yeah, yep,
Like,
yep, yep.
so I
I think that I'll be okay with seeing her take on the role for the movie. I think that that's really just the next natural step of things. If anybody really is a fan of the Black Panther comics, I think that that's kind of what we're all expecting. Since we're not going to get, Chadwick Boseman actually back in the role. I agree with Disney's decision to just not recast it, to respect, the role that he had in there.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that the title itself can't move on, to Shuri. So I'm actually kind of pumped for that, because for the 3 or 4 years that she was Black Panther, she wasn't like a punk running that kingdom. She ran that kingdom.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
they could definitely make that into a nice MCU arc to kind of keep things going.
yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, excuse me, y'all.
No, no, don't do that.
But I know, right? But no, my man, or the title Black Panther, has protected a kingdom for millennia, damn near.
hmm
Um, fought on all kind of realms, from galactic to spiritual. Like, there ain't nothing that the title Black Panther presumably can't do. T'Challa and Shuri in recent times have been spectacular examples of what the Black Panther should be. Um, like, and honestly, mostly we've just followed the tales of T'Challa since the inception of Black Panther. But
Yeah.
you know, he kicks ass, dude.
Yeah, his abilities are pretty dope. They show in here the power to draw upon the knowledge, the strength, of every experience from every Black Panther. Obviously, we got the superhuman strength, endurance, speed, agility, reflexes, stamina, senses, expert in hand-to-hand combat and martial artist. Obviously, we touch on his intelligence. He's obviously he can't have superpowers and not be intelligent. Gotta be smart.
Not a Marvel.
Yeah, in Marvel, you got to have that. And then he's definitely a highly proficient tactician, strategist, and an inventor. And we already, the primary number one that we all know him for the most is his suit, the vibranium suit in general. So those are pretty some OP information there for the
And
Black Panther.
a new power that he got recently in the comics that I love that they're using is the Spear of Bashenga, which is
Mm,
like a spiritual spear pretty much made up of the Orisha gods that was handed down to whoever could. So, now my dude literally just pulls out spears out of thin air that can pierce the astral plane.
I love it.
And
Give me
that shit.
more. Give me more.
So,
that's badass.
he's definitely not just some regular guy, and that's one of the reasons why I think he's underrated, is because I don't know how many people I've heard that have only seen the movies that are just like, oh, okay, yeah, he's a king of a nation, but really he's just a dude in a cat suit.
Right?
Mhm.
No,
He's
no.
not just a dude in a cat suit.
Yeah, and he could go ahead and control the ability to control the undead. That's not no damn guy in a cat suit.
That's not a dude in a
But
cat suit. That's why I was
no,
like, don't compare Batman to T'Challa. Like, that is so, look, honestly, Tony Stark is a better comparison to Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yep.
Tony
Yeah, I
Stark
agree.
is using your vast fortune and intelligence to do superheroing right. Put
Yes.
yourself in a non-destructible suit, right? That's got weaponry and shit. Fly around, all that cool shit.
Right.
Batman is literally in PJs.
And
Pretty
some Kevlar here and there.
Right. But he's in Kevlar PJs.
He's just stunted on us all damn day. That's pretty much.
Right. That is using your money to be a superhero wrong. Tony
Mhm.
Stark is using your money to be a superhero right.
Yep.
Like, that is a much better comparison. Tony Stark, Batman.
Mhm.
Who used billions of dollars to be a superhero right?
right?
Right? That would be look, even without the extremists and all that stuff. Let's just be like just Iron Man suit, right? Just an
alone.
Iron Man suit alone.
Any of them.
Basic Iron Man suit. Shit, the one he came out the cave with
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same damn
makes
thing.
him more super than Batman in that
And
bat suit.
And he had no money to utilize during that one time of processing to create that. Like, he made it from scraps. He didn't have
trash.
Yep, and still his shit is better than Batman's.
And Batman only gets as overpowered as he is because of just bad writing.
Yes.
They don't want to let characters like Green Lantern shine. So, let's put Batman in space and have him do Green Lantern's job, and
it's DC's prime directive. Let's make money off of Superman and Batman.
Yeah,
that's their prime directive, right? Like, how do we justify these stories?
Yep. It's insane how Batman I guess it's one of those popular characters, and that's the reason why. And then they marketing sessions, and they can make money off of him 100%. But when you break it down to the brass tacks at this point, like, compare the two between Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne, same genre of money and power and everything like that. Any given day, Batman will lose with or without his peptide.
It would be nothing for Tony Stark to find the Batcave.
Exactly.
Like, he would literally locate it in 2 seconds.
Yep.
It would be nothing for Tony Stark to come through the Batcave with any one of the armors that he's created and tear it and Batman to shreds. And then leave in 30 seconds after that was all done. Peace out, Tony Stark.
You're right. The biggest thing that really sets these characters apart, though, specifically with Black Panther to Batman, is that they have these complex writing strategies with Black Panther. I'm not sure how many times I've read Black Panther comics, and I've been upset with T'Challa because he's made some decision on his own.
Yeah.
That, where his own intellect and genius kind of gets in the way of him being human with the people around him, to where he's pissed off his own country, his own, city officials, down to even, the woman that he loves, Storm, where they ended up having their marriage annulled. There have been multiple times where they've made Black Panther just, I'll never forget where he's just like, oh, well, our marriage is annulled. And she's like, but only the high priest can do that. And you're the high priest. And he's like, I know, get out. And I'm like, yo, nigga, for real,
my dude.
For real?
That's an abuse of power.
And it's not just that, but even the whole, so the Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther run that he just wrapped up, just to give a quick kind of gloss over that, because I think this is really going to contribute to the, underratedness of Black Panther. He's curious about where the vibranium meteor came from that made his country as great as it is, right? So he tracks the origin from where this thing came from, finds out it came from another galaxy. He sends a team to go investigate to see if there's more vibranium, because you can't find it anywhere in the universe. In our galaxy, it's nowhere except for on Earth. They go, they don't come back. Nobody can hear from them. They just get lost in this galaxy. He decides to go himself to retrieve his people because he's a good king. Mm-hmm. And he gets lost and ends up getting stuck in this big time warp where he's jettisoned a couple of 100 years into the future, into the kingdom, the galactic empire of Wakanda, who is literally enslaving people to mine vibranium across the galaxy. And he's like, I don't know where this kingdom came from. What is all this? And he finds out the people that he sent there got lost in the same time vortex, decided to expand the kingdom, and over hundreds of years expanded the Wakandan Empire into this technologically advanced galaxy with all of the different alien planets in the next galaxy over. So he, because of this weird time vortex, forgets who he is and gets enslaved himself in his own kingdom, mining vibranium. Ends up joining a rebellion, rebels against the fake Black Panther king, who is just awesome all on his own as a symbiote carrying kind of Venom Black Panther god. Because the Black Panther god, Bastet, ends up seeing that he forgot his memory. She gives his powers to this new king. So now he has to literally grind from being a slave to retaking his kingdom and going back home to Earth. And this big, just giant, let me lead a rebellion of Black Panthers, trying to overtake this galactic kingdom. And then he comes back to Earth and now tells his people, I'm not just the king of this country. I've got bigger problems on my hands. I am now the king of an entire galaxy, with Earth being the home world of that galaxy. Give me one other comic book character that has more pull. Like
You cannot.
the only, who rivals that is the mutants on Krakoa now.
Oh yeah,
Because
their level
now
of sovereignty
Storm-
is fucking sick.
So, and this is what I'm loving, and this is what has me reading comics every damn week. Storm is now the Queen of Mars. She is the Queen Regent of Mars.
I heard that.
It's no longer called Mars. It's called Araco, which is an extension of Krakoa. They have their own type of metal called Mysterium now that mutants made up themselves. It's pretty dope. T'Challa does not like this. He does not like that there is a competitor to what he's selling around the galaxy. So now he's at odds with his kind of, white,
They are
not
literally
white.
always at odds.
Because now he's like, oh, well, Wakanda didn't need mutant medicines. We don't need your mutant metals. But at the same time, I love you, but you kind of making me hate you right now because
Cutting them my profits, bitch.
you're fucking with me now. So I love the fact that, like, he's not just, it's not just as easy for him to command a whole galaxy of people. He still has that competition with the Shi'ar Empire, with the Kree Skull Alliance, with Krakoa. Now these civilizations that were just, superhero stories on Earth have, like, galaxy-spanning political consequences.
The mutants are taking over the solar system, by the way.
Yeah, Soul is now theirs.
Yeah, they're taking over the solar system.
They ain't just X-Men no more. They
Right.
literally have their own planet.
Yeah. Look, they got the moon, they got Mars. Yeah, they're working on complete taking. Look, they'll get to the gas giants eventually.
Oh.
They'll make a mutant to solve the gas giant problem.
And look, like, between them working with the Shi'ar and, like, being real partners makes them a real threat across the Marvel universe, because they've now set up a whole economy that relies on it.
And they don't care about humans no more.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
They even got, like, all of the leaders of, like, the known universe together, and they said, if you got business on Earth, you don't stop on Earth, you stop on Araco. We control the Sol system now. If you want to invade Earth, you go through Araco first. If you want to do business, if you want to trade, you come through us first. And as a gift, we'll bring you a brand new form of currency in the form of this Mysterium, and investing in it because it's really, really good at what it does. Just pissing off Doctor Doom, Black Panther, Namor, like, the Shi'ar Empire, the Kree Skull King now. Like, just everybody's like, yo, who do they think they are?
But you really can't do nothing with the mutants is the thing.
Can't do shit about it.
Like they just like an iPhone. There's a mutant for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a mutant to stop whoever's out there. Please believe.
Yeah.
They got someone that's the fix for whatever it is that you are the ailment of. Like, don't worry. We got a mutant for this. Hold up.
And I love it, man. I love the fact that they are, like, the dominant force in the Marvel universe. like again, just because it's led to some of the most interesting stories that Marvel has written in a while.
Yeah.
If you don't know, go read Planet Size X-Men. That'll give you a good kind of general sense of where everything I just said is going. But the fact that these people can just terraform their own planets and live there and start their own civilizations and create their own galactic
Look,
currency.
they have the most Omega class characters in Marvel. Period. Like,
Oh yeah.
the mutants hold all the Omega class characters, large and by far. Besides for like One Above All and stuff like that. Like go watch a video about Omega class characters in Marvel, and you're gonna see that most of them are mutants.
Oh yeah.
And that's the coolest thing about that Planet Size X-Men. That comic goes over how they terraform Mars, and it really shows you how powerful these motherfuckers are.
Yeah.
The comic starts with Magneto just moving through space with a giant chunk of iron to throw into the cores of Mars to reactivate that magnetosphere, and they literally go over the scientific process of terraforming a planet in a day.
And there's a mutant for that.
Yeah, they just have one for everything. Oh, you need oceans created on Mars? We got somebody that can do that.
Literally pull water molecules from nothing.
Yeah, we need life.
Multiply them, right?
Yeah, we got mutants to create every single bit of life in a habitat, and now civilization is just there. They needed a port city to have all these aliens coming in. They went to Jamie Braddock. You guys, you know who Jamie Braddock is, right? Yeah, and they said, "Hey, we need you to birth a city for us," and he was like, literally and just straight out pushed a city out of the artificial womb he created out of his head. I'm like, yeah, that is dope. Who can do that?
Look. Anyway, we got so off topic from Black Panther, but no, X-Men really are taking over like all. They
give him good competition, and I can't wait to see where that goes. So to bring it back to him, that's what I'm talking about. They don't just let him be. If you're a comic fan, you know that Black Panther's overpowered. You know that he can do really just about anything he puts his mind to. But he's never been without something to give him some humility, something to give him some balance, so that he's not like Batman, so that he's not this, just perfect being. He always has something to kind of counter him out there, whether it's Doom to Namor to, the Illuminati kind of messing things up to, now Krakoa, kind of getting in the way of him being a country to, now him having to manage his own empire. Comics Black Panther and MCU Black Panther are on two very, very different levels, and you shouldn't underrate them.
That is the best way to wrap that conversation up. So it's 1:50. We got like 9 minutes. Really 1:51. We got like 9 minutes left on the show. Great discussion today. Really, really good information, guys, for the people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're doing episode 20 next week, so it's gonna be our 20th episode of Comic Cinema Clash. We're gonna do our favorite thing. So this is how I want to do it next week. So I want to be like, I want to make a definitive list, but the list is gonna be comprised of things like our favorite anime, our favorite Marvel movie, our favorite DC movie, our favorite Marvel animated movie, our favorite DC animated movie.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to probably make like a list of like 6, 7 things, right? We're going to come up with our answers before the show. We're going to let it spark like 2-3 minute, conversations about why we enjoy the content so much. And I think that's what we're going to do for episode 20. We're going to do our favorite things. I think we're going to do favorite Marvel movie, favorite DC movie, animated, and Marvel for animated, like live action animated. I think we'll do our favorite anime and like our favorite science fiction.
Okay, I like that.
I'm down with that.
And I do think we still owe the people a sci-fi show, so I think 21 we should do the sci-fi show. And I would love to do that because there's some really good sci-fi that has been out lately. You guys know I've been raving about Foundation. Invasion is really good on Apple TV Plus right now as well.
Nice.
Dune as well.
Dune was so damn good. Oh my God, Dune was. Have y'all watched Dune yet?
Oh yeah, Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You know what? I hate how I don't like how people are talking about it. Like, you could tell that there's some people that movie just wasn't made for because they just didn't pay attention. Like,
oh yeah.
most of the people I know that saw the movie are like, I have no idea what that movie was about, and I'm like, really? Like, they were pretty clear about like everything that was happening.
See, I can see you saying that watching the first Dune, right? In the first Dune, I can absolutely be like, all right, so I made my son watch the first Dune before we watched the new Dune movie, right?
Oh, you mean the old school one, not
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
first? Okay,
Yeah, I
I
mean
hear you.
the very very first Dune, right? So
Yeah.
I had made my son watch the original Dune before Dune came out. He was like, "That was such a good movie, but I don't know what the fuck just happened." Right? Because the original Dune leaves you feeling that way, right? Like, man, I know they was trying to tell me some epic stuff, even though I don't know what they were talking about, right?
Right.
The new Dune movie is the length of the entirety of the original Dune movie, and it's part one of a trilogy. And they spent a lot of time explaining about what is happening to House Atreides on the planet. Like, like they spent a lot of time explaining the story. And if you walked away talking about you didn't know what happened in the new Doom movie, then you might just be wearing a dunce cap.
Yeah, because they really went over everything really clearly. They went over it very beautifully. They made it interesting. I hate that so many people that I know personally just the movie went over their heads because I can't talk to none of them about
Well,
it.
you can talk to me.
It was
I
good.
understood the movie.
And you know what, Ace? You should check it out. It's a long movie, so make sure that you got
It ain't even long.
some
It's only two and
time.
a half hours.
Yeah, but still make sure you got the 2.5 hours to sit down. But it was, man, really good. Very unique.
It
Very unique.
was so damn good. I really was not okay. So the guy that they have playing Paul, I wasn't expecting him to do a good job for whatever reason. Like just from the
Me
trailers,
neither.
I was like, I don't know if this dude is really going to pull off this Paul Atreides, freaking Moadib, you know, vibe that I'm gonna need him to pull off. But he was actually really cold at the role. Like he was really, like he's about to be a really good Mohadib. Like
Especially at the end, and so the I have not read the books. I'm all the way motivated to go buy them now. But somebody was telling me that has read the books and has been talking to me about the books for years. That this first movie is more so just a big cock tease to get you ready for how awesome the second movie is gonna be. So
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
cannot
yeah.
wait. I
Like
cannot.
Nice.
it's gonna be good. And you know what? I gotta give it to Oscar De La Rentos. One, if you guys don't know, he is like one of my favorite directors, especially from that period of the '80s. He's responsible for the Conan movies and the Red Sonja movies, and he also did the original Dune movie. And you
Yeah.
gotta give it up to him for making Dune in the '80s. He made it in 1982 when time was a constraint. He still made a 2.5 hour movie. He made it on a ginormous budget. And he fit as much of 3 books as he could into one movie and make it and make that story as coherent as possible.
Right.
Now you do need to watch Dune like 5 times, the original Dune, before you can understand what it's trying to be relayed. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know any one singular person who has ever watched Dune the first time was like, I completely understand exactly what was going on in that movie. Because you're missing a lot of information. But if you watch it enough times, you can absolutely infer what you're missing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The new one, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is listen and watch, and it'll all make sense. But yeah, we're gonna do sci-fi after our favorite
Yes,
I think
sir.
that's a good idea.
thing. Yeah, because I do love my sci-fi as much as I love my comics. I do.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones out there. Lost in Space. I love Lost in Space. I love Lost in Space.
Oh my God, did you love Lost in Space too? Oh my God, Lost in
I
Space on
love Lost
Netflix was so good. It was so
Yes.
good. Oh my God, I think the world's
Ever
full of
since I was a
haters.
kid, I've always loved it. Like even the original, like the movie that they put out in like the what was that early 2000s?
The early odds, yeah,
Um,
that movie was decent. That was decent, but
It
the
was
Lost
good.
in Space series on Netflix is
Yeah.
so good. Like, and if that don't come back for season 3, I'm gonna be mad. You know another good sci-fi on Netflix?
Huh.
Altered Carbon.
Oh, I hear that's really good. Yeah, I
Man,
forgot about
that
that.
is more than really good. Yo,
Yeah, Anthony Mackie, right?
Anthony Mackie, the second season, and the dude from Flag, Colonel Flag from Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
He's the main character of the first season.
Oh, okay.
So, the show is about body sleeving, right? So you get a little brain thing that has all your consciousness in it, and you can be put in any body,
Oh, that's cool. That's
right?
cool as shit.
So, like, the main character's name is Takeshi, right? And he starts off as an Asian dude, like he's born Asian, and then he's re-sleeved into Flag's body in the first season. Then he's re-sleeved into Anthony Mackie's body the second season.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
That's
go watch
dope.
Altered Carbon. Yo,
That
shit
shit's so
is
dope.
fire.
That shit is
Okay.
dope.
Some ghosts in the shell kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yo, look,
I like it.
it's so good. It is one of the best things that I've ever watched. Altered Carbon is so good. Look, we're gonna talk about more sci-fi in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Y'all watch Altered Carbon now, cause that look.
That show.
Takeshi
Yep.
and his whole fucking family, yo. They are a mess.
Yep.
That's all I got to say.
They're dope. Such a good show too. Such a good show.
And the animated movie's really good too.
Oh,
The animated movie's really good. Like, it's really fucking good.
It's fantastic.
Okay. You know what we need to do? Oh, you know what we need to put on the list of my favorite things?
What's that?
Video games.
What is it?
Video games. Video games.
Yeah, I could do that all day.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No,
Yeah.
You're only gonna pick one for the list.
Yeah, I'll pick one. But
You're gonna pick your all-time favorite video game of all time up until the list was made and the video game's released. Because I realized that week something else might come out and be your favorite after that.
oh no, there's one favorite I got that'll probably always be the favorite. I can't ever see it getting dethroned. So yeah, next week we'll get
Okay.
it.
Yeah. We're gonna put favorite video game on the list. But it's 2:00 on the dot. 2:01 now. We're over it, but that's okay because we were late.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
No, actually, we were on time. We started at 1.
Get a little overtime.
Nah, you know what? As always, gentlemen, it's been great hanging out with you guys on a Saturday doing the comic book class thing.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do episode 20 next week, so I'm super excited about that. Let's all make it for episode 20. Let's do it 3 weeks in a row. Let's make our episode 20. Let's do a big thing. Cerv, me and you probably need to sit down and do a little screen share and figure out how we want to present next week's new art for the show.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Because I really don't have honestly, I've been looking at it. I really don't have a plan for it yet.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to put it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. We're going to figure it out. So these have been my partners in hosting, SilentAce 221 and Cerv. I'm their partner in hosting, Mr. Solutions. This has been Comic Cinema Clash. You guys have an amazing day. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Saturday. If you're watching this later, thanks for hanging out with us and watching the show. Like, subscribe, do the things. Follow the link in the Twitter to get the shirts. But yeah, you go to Mr. Solutions Streamlabs, Stream Elements. Yeah, go to Mr. Solutions Stream Elements. And you can get the Comics in the Class shirt, get the mug, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Later.